everyone. Good morning, good evening, and welcome all of you to our global virtual training event. I hope all of you are having a safe and wonderful time of this year. Thank you all so much for being here with us today. My name is Miranda Alicia, and on behalf of Global Platform Solution, we'd like to welcome and congratulate all of you for being a part of our 5th global virtual event of GPS. I'm excited because today is all about innovating forward as we go into the new year. This year has been one we will never forget, with the launch of GPS in 3 countries, new additions in our commerce portfolio, revolutionizing the virtual reality industry. A year like no other deserves a final celebration like no other, which is why I'm excited to announce we have the chance to hear from a special guest speaker on today's call, business coach, best-selling author, entrepreneur, and former World Series champion pitcher, Mr. Todd Stottlemyre is here on the call with us today. You're also going to be the first to hear some exciting, huge announcements and more of the future of GPS from the founder and chairman himself, Mr. Danny Bay. So wherever you're at, get comfortable, pay attention to your screen, and get ready because the global virtual event starts now.
Hey everyone, Mark Isaac here, and first, I hope you're having an amazing global training event. You know, I'm really excited because in less than 24 hours on Saturday, 10 a.m. Central Time, we're gonna officially be launching the GPS Lifestyle Apparel. You know, we have some amazing collections that we're gonna be rolling out with. In fact, we got 2 shirts for both men and women, 1 sweater, 1 bomber jacket, a dad hat, and even a snapback. You know, we're also gonna be having Influencer 250 and Influencer 500 pins available for anyone that would like to purchase it for them or even their team. You know, this collection is focused on helping you brand your GPS business. And don't forget, you are the best marketing tool that you have. If you're somebody that believes that there's elegance in the simple things, and you also understand the power of branding, you're going to love everything that we're coming out with. You know, keep in mind, there's limited items in stock, so it will be first come, first serve. So make sure you set your alarms and your reminders because 10 a.m. Central Time, we will be live. Also, don't forget, follow us on Instagram so you can be notified when this launch is gonna be live, and I cannot wait to see each and every one of you represent GPS in the new gear that's coming out.
This is Danny Bay, Chairman and Founder of GPS. We welcome you to our December 2020 Innovating Forward Global Virtual Training Event. We're so excited to have you here with us. Maybe some of you are watching us from the United States, maybe Japan, maybe Korea, I don't know, maybe even some other countries or maybe some other planet, I'm not sure. But we're so excited to have you because we have so much to share with you here today. We have been having so much momentum all over the world right now, and I could tell you our influencer registration number in one of our country in the month of November have literally gone up over 80% compared to the month prior. We are experiencing some major momentum right now. People are looking at us, people are learning about us, people are wanting to position with us with our opportunity right now more than we have ever seen before. And this year has been incredible. You know, we started our company early this year in Korea, and we launched Japan, we launched United States just June of this year, which is only 5-6 months ago. In such a short amount of time, now we have tens of thousands of influencers, tens of thousands of customers enjoying our products and services in virtual reality space, as well as our content space, but also the GPS commerce product portfolio that we're bringing to the marketplace in a way that is never been done before. So we are so excited for everything that has already happened this year. We're grateful for everything that's happening right now. But I can tell you, we're truly innovating forward right now because we're more excited about 2021 than we definitely were about 2020. So we got some announcements for you. We got guest speaker. We got several speakers on the line for you as well. So we want to encourage you to sit back and relax and join us for this ride as we start our December Global Virtual Training event. So now let's talk a little bit about virtual reality experience with VRLU. Our VRLU, world's first and the world's largest personal development virtual reality content platform out there. We have been bringing out so many contents throughout the year. It's absolutely incredible. And now we have over 840 Master Accounting classes and over 200 entertainment contents that we have made it available. That's over 1,000 contents that you can enjoy for a simple, one single all access pass price, in a way that no other company is doing right now. And we are so excited about all the existing contents, but we also have so many new contents being added in the month of December. And I got to tell you, I'm so excited about the football coaching experience with Mr. Victor Butler. I have so much respect for this gentleman. I have known Mr. Victor's wife for many years as a good friend, and we are so excited that our former Dallas Cowboy NFL athlete, NFL superstar, Mr. Victor, is teaching football in virtual reality in a way you have never experienced before. I can't wait for you to see it. Brand new yoga classes available. We got cool other fitness classes that will absolutely blow your mind. And I got to tell you, soccer legend, I believe that he played in the World Cup 4 times, Mr. Jungkook Lee. He's teaching soccer, but what's really exciting is they even have fun content in there. One of the actor is learning soccer, and soccer players learning acting, and we got some great comical. I don't know if I'm allowed to say comical, but it's such a fun content that we're bringing to you in Korea. I can't wait for you to see it. We also have brand new music concert content that is being brought by Mr. Michael Lee, some of old classic pop music. He's playing guitar, he's singing. I'm telling you, you feel like as you experience his content, you feel like you're just right there in front of him, sitting in the front row, experiencing a concert, which is something that a lot of us are having a hard time experiencing during the pandemic. We also have a very unique content being delivered by Miss Pyo Eun-ji that I think many of you guys are going to like. And we are so excited to bring this incredible content by Mr. Marek that we just announced a couple of months ago, our very first local Japanese content from Japan VRLU team. And he's teaching magic secrets, he's teaching incredible tricks, incredible magic tricks, and that it's very simple to learn, but it will absolutely blow your mind. So I can't wait for every single one of you to see all the new contents after this event. Make sure you log into VRLU. Make sure you go out there and enjoy VRLU, because we got over 1,000 contents for you to enjoy. And I'm excited about all the new contents in December. Now, let me give you a little bit about the GPS commerce updates and announcements. We have so many great things happening in our GPS commerce product portfolio. We got 23 brands now, 192 different products that we have already brought to the marketplace. Obviously, we started in Korea in February, so it's first 4 or 5 months was just focusing on bringing virtual reality hardware and the content. But last 3-4 months, as we've been adding all the commerce brands, it has brought an incredible product portfolio. I don't know if there has ever been a company that partner up directly with so many different brands and launch so many different products in a short amount of time to truly bring good value to consumers and really offer products and services that consumers are wanting and buying out there in the marketplace every day. So we're so proud of that. We're so excited about that. We have new products being announced right now in Korea, in Japan, in the United States right now. So let's go right into it. GPS commerce for Korea. I'm so excited because we just launched a brand new product with Torea. Torea, I have an amazing respect for this brand. I got to know the CEO, and I got to tell you, their CEO and the executive team, they believe in bringing health, healthy product, the best product in the marketplace. Especially right now, a lot of us are using probably more hand sanitizer than we have ever had in our lifetime. And especially myself being from Las Vegas, always having dry hand, always needing lotion or hand cream. But this vegan based hand cream trio product is absolutely amazing. It's only 36,000 Korean won. In US dollars, it will be around $33. 15 BVN IV is given. These products are amazing. I can't wait for you to experience it. We just launched this product, and especially especially for us, well, that's the regular price, but we're going to be having a 10% discount launch special until December 23rd in Korea. 10% discount, 32,400 Korean won. Make sure you could get more information about that on mygps.kr Korean website. Now, let's talk a little more about the next brand. I am so excited about this brand. Gridilis is a brand I became a big fan of. Now, Uni Park, which is the designer and the CEO of this incredible brand. I mean, she's done fashion show in Europe, fashion show in New York, and she's on TV literally every single week. Every time you turn the TV on, she's on TV in Korea. Extremely famous brand, extremely respected fashion designer. She also is one of the masters in Master Academy on VRLU, teaching fashion using VR technology. Is super cool. They just came out with brand new winter collection. They got these hats, visor, bucket hat, ball cap. It's incredible. I don't know about you. I wear a hat all the time, especially being in quarantine. And, sometimes you don't want to do, your hair here and there. So, I think more people are getting used to wearing hat than ever before. And this brand, the design that you can see right now, it's absolutely amazing. And we're going to be launching the newest product they just brought to the marketplace. The emblem hoodie is amazing. White, blue, and orange, 3 colors. We're going to be offering it as well. Ruffle Husher, I don't know if you've ever seen a hoodie with designs like that before. It's so cool. So many celebrities in Korea is wearing it. So many celebrities around the world are wearing it. Many of you probably already know the brand because, Paris Hilton, Beyonce, and some of the fashion icons around the world are big fan of this brand, and they wear it all the time, and they get caught wearing them, paparazzi pictures all the time. And we're so excited that we have this incredible partnership with Unipart, with Gridilis, and we're going to be launching these products in Korea in this month, December. And, these are the regular prices, but we're so excited because Gridilis have given us a 10% discount as a launch special between now until at the end of the month, where you could actually purchase these at a GPS special price, and you could get BV, you could get 5% influencer marketing commission, you could go out and get customers, you could look good and get paid, you could help your friends and family to look good and get paid. It's absolutely incredible. I think all the influencers at GPS, we're going to build great business together. We're going to be stylists together. We're going to look good together. We're going to enjoy life together. We're so excited about this brand, and I can't wait to tell you more about it in Korea. United States. I know United States, we just launched our very first GPS commerce product in United States as well with Organica product. I got to tell you, we're hearing so many amazing things about Organica product. So many customers are waiting for shipment. It is literally starting in the next few days. We're so excited that every single one of you I know are going to absolutely love this product portfolio. And this Peter Lamas brand, sold on QVC, one of the most loved product on QVC. His product is well recognized all over the world, have thousands of customers literally reaching out to purchase his product all the time. And we're so excited to have this brand new partnership at GPS Commerce with Mr. Peter Lamas to have caliber, have the level of quality of the brand and a product like Mr. Peter Lamas to partner up with GPS Commerce. It's a blessing. We're so excited, and we can't thank you enough, Mr. Peter Lamas, for being part of our GPS Commerce product brand partnership. So we're going to actually bring up Mr. Peter Lamas for a minute to have you directly hear from him, but I could tell you next week, we're going to have a 1-hour episode for you to learn everything about his product, all the products we're going to be offering fully, 1 hour full episode to have you get trained and learn about the products that we're going to be offering through GPS Commerce. So let's go out to Beverly Hills and hear from Mr. Peter Lamas. Thanks for joining us today.
Hi, my name is Peter Lamas, and I am the founder of the Peter Lamas brand. My career in the beauty industry spans for over 30 years as a hairstylist and makeup artist to some of the world's most recognized names and faces, such as Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, Elizabeth Taylor, Grace Kelly, Diana Ross, just to name a few. I saw the opportunity to launch a beauty product line free of harmful chemicals that focuses on results. based on the mission of creating high-performance beauty products that blend natural ingredients with scientific principles. My company's skin, body, and hair care products are 100% vegan and formulated with certified organic botanicals. Working with the top R&D labs in the cosmetic industry, I formulated the majority of the products. Most of the company's formulations were developed in-house and are proprietary. I first met Danny Bay many years ago and was very impressed with him. I am thrilled to be collaborating with Danny and his team at GPS Life. I'm excited to offer now these special product bundles we've created for GPS. Looking forward to connecting with you all.
Thank you very much, Mr. Peter Lamas. We are so excited to be able to work with you. We can't wait to hear you again next week on a full 1-hour episode to learn everything about your product. Now, we're launching 3 bundle sets. We're so excited about this because we got a special GPS-only reduced pricing. We got bundle set 1, 2, 3. We got hair solution system, skin and body care system. We got hair and skin and body care all in one system. And we're going to be launching these products literally in next few days. And we'll be sending out more information in the United States, and we will be giving you more information about a 1-hour special episode done by Mr. Peter Lamas himself to tell you all about every single one of those products in detail. I am so excited about this, and I cannot wait for all of you to experience incredible Mr. Peter Lamas brand. Now, let's talk a little bit about our product that many of us are really been talking about, our next generation of virtual reality glass and our next generation next of the VR experience. Well, many of you know that we announced this MOLED G micro OLED display VR glass product that we're bringing to the marketplace first quarter of year 2021. And as we roll this product out, I know so many people are waiting for this product. So many people are trying to order this product. So many people are wanting to understand more about the product. Well, we're going to tell you a little more about it today, but you're going to have to wait a little bit because it will be available first quarter of 2021. Now, what's beautiful about this is as we, our idea of starting GPS or opportunity in the VR space, we have said this from day one. There are going to be 3 major opportunities for us to participate in virtual reality space, which is the distribution of hardware, distribution of content, and eventually position ourselves to maximize an EBP commerce, experience before purchase commerce platform, which is using VR AR technology for a commerce shopping experience. And we have just done just that. We started with our first partnership with Pico, which was number 1 VR device, recognized product out there in Asia, and having that partnership, we have shattered record. GPS, we became world's number one virtual reality device distributor in direct sales space. And we broke records. We did things that people thought were impossible. We had tens of thousands of customers join us, and tens of thousands of customers enjoyed our incredible virtual reality product. And that was their first time experiencing virtual reality in a way that they got to experience with our devices as well as our VR Loop content. And because we have done that, we were able to get the attention of this incredible partner, TCL. TCL being the number 1 TV brand in the United States, number 2 TV brand around the world, and them bringing the greatest display you could possibly imagine into a glass form in a way that has never been done before. And we're so excited to bring the generation next delivery for you to go out there, not just experience VR, but regular content plus the VR experience using this incredible product. So we're bringing this new hardware right now, but let's talk about the content. I know we're excited about VR Loop. I know we're bringing VR Loop content to the marketplace, but can I tell you, I'm not just having the opportunity to get compensated in VR Loop content, but now you have an opportunity to also get compensated in mobile service content as well. So VR Loop are going to be offering mobile service in United States, and we are going to be marketing the mobile service under a couple of different brands in Korea and Japan as well as we roll out this incredible product. Now, just stop and think about this for a second. You know, being able to go out there and get paid when you go out and distribute the hardware of the MOLA G glass, but also the TCL 10 Plus mobile phone, smartphone, which I'm really excited about. But also now getting paid every time subscribers are paying for their VRLU subscription, you're getting paid every single month. Every single one of those TCL 10 Plus phone will already have Android mobile-based mobile version of VRLU application already installed on every single one of those mobile phones. So every TCL 10 Plus phone is already going to have VRLU app preloaded. And when they sign up for subscription, when they become a customer, every single every month they pay the monthly VRLU subscription, you're going to get paid. But also you're going to have an opportunity to get paid every single time they pay their cell phone bill, because we're also going to offer cell phone service with this incredible bundle package as well. You know, so we're going to be launching VRLU mobile service in United States, and in Korea and Japan, we will be launching the mobile service under a different brand because it's a partnership. We will tell you more about that as time comes, but we're so excited about this because future is about to open right now. This is I don't know if I'm okay to show you this, but this is the initial little bit of a teaser image of what the box is going to look like. And when you get the box delivered, you're gonna have the beautiful glass case and your glass, your MOLA G glass is going to be right there. And also the TCL 10 Plus phone is going to be right there. This is going to be incredible. But I could tell you right now that the experience for customers is going to be absolutely amazing. You know, when you plug it in, you know, so when you have the glass and when you connect to TCL 10 Plus phone, you're going to have an opportunity to be able to control exactly how you want your user experience to be, to maximize your experience. You know, the TCL 10 Plus phone is going to be optimized to make sure they give you the best experience possible on the VR glass. And you can pretty much set everything up, you know, using the device. And when you plug it in, what's really cool is you're going to have a desktop version display. What that means is when you plug it in, it's almost like having extension desktop to your smartphone, but it's now on a 100-inch screen through your VR glass, your MOLA G glass, micro OLED display glass. Now, when you do this, now what's really exciting is you could, you know, play different videos, you could enter at different applications and have a full-on mobile experience, but now you're doing it on a desktop display, actually being displayed in your MOLA G glass product. So we are so excited because this is a new experience. This is new level of experience of your accessing your cell phone content in a way you have never done before. I'm telling you, it's powerful. It's never been done. We're doing something that I'm telling you, this is a game changer, and I can't wait for every single one of you to experience it. And I could tell you right now, you could even choose to use the VR glass audio, or you could use your phone audio. You know, there's going to be so many different functionality to give you the best experience possible, you know, using TCL 10 Plus mobile phone and the MOLA G glass product together. You know, and what's really cool is we're going to be, I know that many people have been hearing that we're launching the product first quarter of 2021. And I think one of the most, you know, number one question I've been getting for the last few weeks is, hey, can we pre-order? Can I pre-order? I want to make sure that I'm one of the first groups that gets delivered. I don't want to miss out. I want to make sure that I'm one of the first people to have it in my country. Can I pre-order? Well, we heard your voices, we heard your request, so we worked on it, and now we're going to do a pre-order even though the official launch is going to start in 2021 first quarter, we're going to start a pre-order in Korea December 28th, and United States will be January 20th. Japan will be to be announced. We're just working last couple of things out. You could pre-order on our pre-order website, which we're going to provide to you locally in your country before the pre-launch date. You could pre-order to make sure that you could secure the first shipment delivery in your market before anyone else. And to pre-order, even the devices, as you know, it's $11.99 and in your market. And some of the markets, we're going to offer 24 months financing in the United States and Korea as well. But I could tell you, instead of paying the full price to pre-order and wait, you could actually pre-order for just $100 using our pre-order website. And we're going to be giving you more information about that locally to make sure that, each country, each market is ready for the pre-order. But the official launch and the delivery will happen in 2021 first quarter. So we're so excited about this. We're excited about bringing this product to the marketplace. This is bringing so much opportunity to the marketplace. We're doing something that's never been done before. And I'm telling you right now, if you ever wanted to be at the right place at the right time, this is it right now. This is it. I've been an entrepreneur for 20 years. I've never seen an opportunity like what we're experiencing right now. We don't want you to miss out on this. We want you to position yourself to win. I think many of you could agree. If you could position yourself before something big happens, before magnitude happens, that's how you win. And I'm telling you, there has never been an opportunity to position entrepreneurs, position influencers, position average people like myself, like how I was many years ago. To really position you to really be in front of a huge growth and huge shift and huge transition and huge development of new technology like what we're doing right now with VR and AR, commerce and device and hardware and the content delivery like what we're doing right now with MOLA G and TCL 10 Plus product. We're so excited. We are so excited you're here. We're so excited. This product is coming soon. We're going to be giving you more information locally about the pre-order, and make sure you stay tuned and make sure that you go out there and get a lot of customers ready before the pre-order. Now, this is the best part. I know this announcement was exciting, but I think the best part of this event, December of 2020, Innovating Forward, last global virtual training event of the year. The best part, highlight of this event is our guest speaker, Mr. Todd Stoudemire. He's a 3-time World Series champion. He's an incredible speaker, powerful trainer, teacher, and a mentor. And he's a best-selling author. He's a global entrepreneur. He has been a great friend for me for 10 plus years. And I could tell you right now, I've been learning so much from this gentleman. I've read his books. I've been to his trainings. I've been to his seminars. I'm so grateful to call this gentleman a friend. And we're so excited that this gentleman is here with us today. And we're going to have an opportunity to interview with him by 4 of our top producing influencers in our company, Mr. Wu from Korea, Mr. Mike Lund from the United States, and Mr. Kenji Hoffman from Japan, and Mr. Stuart Stent from Hawaii. They have connected with us today, and we're going to be asking Mr. Todd Stoudemire some questions and his success principles and teachings and his knowledge and his information he's going to be sharing with us right now is going to be so powerful. So I want to encourage you to sit back and relax, but take a lot of notes and let this training, let this time, let this powerful interview impact your life, change your life for better. So without any further ado, let's go out to our incredible interview session with Mr. Todd Stoudemire. Thank you very much for being with us today, Mr. Todd. All right, right, this is the moment we all been waiting for. December of 2020, Innovating Forward event. We are so excited to have our guest speaker finally here. I've been waiting for this talk. I've been waiting for this training. I've been waiting for his message because I know he has been a dear friend and a mentor for me for many, many years. This gentleman is 3-time World Series champion, but also he is a best-selling author. His book, Relentless Success, not just in the United States, but all over the world. It was read by thousands of people, and I know personally thousands of people, their lives have been changed by his teaching. And since then, he has progressed in his career and teaching career to teach so many corporations, so many executives, so many leaders, and so many average people like myself around the world to really make a major impact in their lives, to take them from where they are to start to becoming a champion. And, you know, I am so honored to have this gentleman here with us today. He's a mega entrepreneur. He's one of the greatest teachers in the world. And he just wrote a brand new book that's coming out at the end of this month. Observer, which I had the opportunity to read because I had the opportunity to participate writing the forwarding for the book as well. But I absolutely love who he is. I love what he stands for. I love his teachings, and we're so excited to have him here with us at the GPS virtual event. So Mr. Todd Stoudemire, welcome to the call.
Mr. Danny Bay, I got to tell you, I'm humbled, I'm honored, and this is a little different for me because, you know, you mentioned me as a mentor. You said some great things about me, but you know, we were together in another opportunity, in another company, in another project that we were working on over the last 10 years. That I was a part of that, and I think to myself, it's like this is the guy that mentored me. Now he's asking me to come on and teach, and you've just been a great mentor to people all over the world. We have world leaders on this call. So I would just tell you that are going to be asking some questions. I'm so humbled. I'm so honored to be connected to this very special company, this very special group of people. And I remember the day that we had a phone call and you were going to get this thing started. And I remember thinking back and when this all began. And then we went into a period of time where a pandemic hit the world. And then that pandemic hit the world. We call it COVID-19. And it just reminds me of something. And it also defines who you are, Mr. Bay, which is why I'm so grateful and so appreciative of your friendship, your mentorship to me and to so many people around the world, because you didn't let it hold you back. And that's really my first message of the day is, and when you think of COVID-19, you think of that pandemic and you think about how it touched every city, every town, every community, every province, every country, literally around the world. We had to all go through, and we continue to go through the exact same circumstances, literally everywhere around the world. But you know, if it wasn't COVID-19, it would have been something else. See, there's always going to be uncertainty. And I would tell you that through this, and one of the things that I've been teaching companies, CEOs, corporations, teams, and even my own family, and even reminding myself is this too shall pass. Things pass. Things get better. We're going to go through the next, by the way, when this passes, the future will also be uncertain. The question is, how are you going to come out of this? Are you going to come out better? Or are you going to come out worse? See, somebody is going to come out of this pandemic. Somebody's going to come out of this environment, and they're going to be worse off than they were prior to when they started. And that's so unfortunate. Now, some people are going to come out better. And here's what I'm going to tell you. What I mean by this is, what are you doing with what you can control? See, instead of getting so focused on all of the things that we can't control. And to think about it, the second we spend time on things we can't control, we lose out on the mastery of the things we can control. What are we doing every single day, the things that we can control. So look, I just wanted to remind everybody, and because I think about it, I remember when Mr. Bay called me. I remember the introduction to this whole vision that he's had to not only be in the United States, Korea, and Japan, but multiple countries literally around the world. And it's just the beginning. But then he was faced, just so you know, every single person on this call, the guy who started this company literally prior and in the middle of a pandemic, has refused to let the pandemic control the success of the company. So I want to congratulate every single person on this call, because it says something about your character. It says something about your vision. It says something about your commitment and your discipline. And it's so important. Look, I had the pleasure and honor to work on my second book during this period of time where, you know, stay-at-home orders were in play, and it was like, you know, we're spending more time at home than maybe ever before in our lives, and we've lost out on the connectivity of maybe being belly-to-belly type communication and building relationships. And we've had to build some relationships. We've had to learn how to get to know people through training, through technology, just like this. Just like this Zoom call, where it's like maybe it's the first time we're introduced to someone and we begin to build a relationship that way. Well, during this period of time, you know, I've had this burning desire basically deep inside of me to write this second book, because this second book, The Observer, really was a mess that I had to overcome. And, you know, when I think back to the beginning of this, here we are in 2020. But for me, this book started in probably 1981, but really began in 1993. So let me explain what I'm even talking about. In 1993, in the fall of 1993, I played on a Major League Baseball team called the Toronto Blue Jays, and we had just won our second world championship. We won in 1992, and then we won in 1993. Here I am at the time in 93. I'm 28 years old. I'm making millions of dollars. I've lived out my childhood dream after growing up in Yankee Stadium and watching my father, Mel Stottlemyre, and being around in that environment in the 60s and 70s, and to dream and to not only have that dream, but to literally live out that childhood dream from the outside at 28 years old, back-to-back world champions, living out my childhood dream, playing Major League Baseball, making millions of dollars. If you would have looked at me from the outside, you would have said, like, wow, like, man, this guy's got it all. I mean, to live out his childhood dream, to be making millions of dollars, to be a world champion, not once, but twice in consecutive years. Like, wow. And I got to tell you something. There was one problem with that. And that problem was a serious problem. You see, when I looked in the mirror, I could not stand the person looking back at me. I need to say this again so you all get it. When I looked in the mirror, I despised, I couldn't stand. Matter of fact, I hated the person looking back at me, because the person looking back at me 1 decade prior to that moment, when he was 15 years old, he laid his body down. He gave a bone marrow transplant to his little brother who was 11. And he gave the bone marrow transplant to his little brother who was 11 because he was fighting a cancer called leukemia that had battled his body. This was his third bout with it at 11. It started at 7. And that bone marrow transplant that I gave to my little brother eventually put him into a coma and eventually took his life. And when that happened, I would just tell you, I just remember thinking my parents had to bury their 11-year-old son. But I was 15 at the time, and my best friend was just taken away from me. And I got to tell you something, traditional sadness set in on our family. But there were two other emotions that were driving me crazy, and one was hate. I hated the world. I hated God. I was so mad. I was so upset that my little brother, and I was in a place where I was saying, it's just not fair. It's not right. How come my 11-year-old brother is being taken away from me? Life is not fair. And by the way, I lived with life is not fair, and I lived with that hate, and I also lived with the guilt that it was my bone marrow, that put him into a coma that eventually took his life. I lived with that for 12 years. Now, let me explain something to you. See, when we don't heal a past circumstance, when a past circumstance bothers us today, that past circumstance is ruining the mastery of the present day moment. Because our focus, our attention is still on the past. We're still playing victim to something that we need to let go of. You see, but I was very unsettled after being a world champion for the second time. And I realized I didn't like where I was. Number one, I didn't like how I was performing on the baseball field. More importantly, I didn't like how I was performing in life. I didn't like how I was performing with relationships. I didn't like how I was performing with the people I love, because here's what would happen to me. Anything I couldn't control, the hate and guilt would come to a surface. And as it came to the surface, it would ruin the mastery of the present moment. You see, ladies and gentlemen, I was living in a prison that I built. That prison was called unforgiveness. And that prison was called Life's Not Fair. And I would tell you that I had to reach out. I reached out for help. I called this guy that was a mindset guru in Major League Baseball. He'd worked with Hall of Famers. And I reached out and called him. His name was Harvey Dorfman. I said, Harvey, this is Todd Stottlemyre. And here's what he said to me. I've been waiting on your call. I was like, wow, I didn't even know this guy knew who I was. And I said, Harvey, I need help. And he says, I know. And we booked a meeting. And by the way, I want you to think about that just for a second. I said I needed help. He said, I know. Let me tell you something. You got to get pretty vulnerable with yourself. You got to get pretty honest with yourself. You got to have pretty clear awareness that you know you're not where you should be. Let me tell you something. I can't tell you how many times people are hiding behind closed doors, pretending to be something else on the other side of the doors. But when they get alone, when they get with themselves, they actually know the truth. I was at a place where I knew the truth. I knew I wasn't performing like I should perform. I knew I didn't feel the way I should feel. And I'm telling you, and like I said, as I stared in the mirror, I couldn't stand that person looking back at me. I was living in hate. I was living in guilt. I was living in unforgiveness. And as I called this guy and as I reached out, we booked this appointment with Mr. Harvey Dorfman. I went over to see him and we met in a hotel room. And it was supposed to be a few hour meeting. It lasted 12 hours. In the first hour of the meeting, Mr. Dorfman said to me, he said, Todd, he goes, I got a question for you. I said, what's that? He says, would you do it again? And I said, would I do what? He said, would you give that bone marrow transplant to your little brother again? And I got to tell you something, I broke down in tears. I cried like a little baby. And I was like, wow. And I said to him, I said, Harvey, through my tears and through my suffering at that moment, I said, man, I do it every minute of every hour of every day. I do it over and over and over again. He says, well, Todd, didn't you already give him a bone marrow transplant? And I said, yeah. He says, Todd, did you already do everything you could possibly do to help your little brother, to try to save his life? I said, yes. He says, well, if you've already done everything you can do, and you would be willing to do it all over again, I want you to know you didn't kill your little brother, and I need you to let it go. And I got to tell you something. I'm 28 years old at the time. He gave me permission to stop penalizing myself. And it was like this huge elephant piano off my back. I was like, for a moment, I felt so free. I was like, yeah, he's right. I didn't kill my little brother. I did everything I could to help him. But you see, the problem was I didn't have that perspective. I was looking at it through a different lens. See, I seen life as not fair. You see, I had hate. You see, I was playing with guilt of something that wasn't even real. But yet that's what I took on as a human being. He then said to me, he said, listen, if you would have said no, he said, I would have told you to change now to honor the defeat and become something because of the suffering. Let me say this again. I don't want you to miss this. If there's something in your past that's been, maybe you haven't forgiven someone in your life, or something you haven't forgiven yourself, or maybe you're carrying anchors and baggage around from because it wasn't fair the way you grew up, or it wasn't fair for the parents you had, or something wasn't fair, and you're carrying that in today. It's keeping you from performing at the level that you can perform at because you're busy carrying baggage around from yesterday. And if you're carrying the baggage around from yesterday, my message is let it go and change today to honor that suffering. Honor it. And honor it because of that suffering and because of your change, you become more because of it. You become more valuable, not only to yourself and to your family and to your company and to your loved ones and to the people who are counting on you to be the best version of yourself. In the last hour of that meeting, ladies and gentlemen, Harvey Dorfman changed my life because he put me on a 7-day challenge. And here's what he said. He said, in the next 7 days, he said, Todd, he says, I want you to observe. Here's what he said. I want you to observe the thoughts you have and the emotions you feel every time you're challenged or an obstacle comes up in the next 7 days. He says, you are not allowed to react. You are only allowed to document. I said, now hold on a minute. So something happens, I start to emotionally change state. My mind starts to go like this, right? In all these different waves, and I'm not allowed to react. He said, that's right. You are only allowed to observe and document. He said, you see, I want you to observe what you're thinking. I want you to become aware of what's going on in your head. And I also want you to observe the emotions that those thoughts and that situation has over you. He said, I only want you to document. And here's what he said next. And then me and you together, we're going to build a tool chest to help you stay in a high performance emotional state so that you don't have knee-jerk reactions that destroy your moment. I was like, wow. We're going to build a tool chest, how to handle when I get angry. We're going to build a tool chest on how to handle it when I fail. We're going to build a tool chest when I start to lack belief, tools to go to, models to build from, so that I can be in peak performance. Because look, here's the facts. The facts are there's about 26,000 thoughts that you have every day, and most of those are negative. What are we doing with the negative thoughts? Because let's not forget something. What you focus on grows. And you see, for more than a decade, I focused on the guilt. I focused on the hate. And because I did, it destroyed me becoming the best version of myself and the best performer. And because of that, I wrote the book, The Observer. The Observer. A modern fable to mastering your thoughts and emotions. Because if you can master your thoughts, because your thoughts are going to drive your emotions, and your emotions, they design and define your life. Because your emotions are who you truly are in the good times and the bad times. So I'm so proud of the book, and I'm so proud of the platform that I've been able that I've been given to express it. But here's the point of the whole thing, and then I'll turn it back to Mr. Bay. I had to overcome that mess. I couldn't teach it. I couldn't mentor it. I couldn't talk about something that I hadn't overcome. I had to first overcome. See, my mess has become my message. And the thing that I want to leave you with before I turn it over to Mr. Bay is, I want you to go out starting today, and I want you to go fail as often as you can, because every failure is going to represent a teacher. See, that failure is nothing more than a teacher. I need you to get excited about pushing status quo. I need you to pursue your uncomfortable zone. See, if you'll pursue your uncomfortable zone, you'll fall down. And when you fall down, there will be a teacher there to represent the failure. And here's what the teacher is going to tell you. exactly what you need to do to get better. And it's going to give us something to pursue every single day so you can push your potential. Mr. Bay, to you, sir.
Wow. Thank you very much, Mr. Todd, for sharing that. And, from reading your book, The Observer, being in that, observing what's happening, being the observer of the situations and to document and take in, and instead of react, from that position, it gives you such a different perspective and understanding, and to have that understanding to a point where you could change the state, to change the thinking, change the emotional state as well. It's so life changing, and I cannot wait for the whole world to read your teaching and get your teaching. I know you started a Facebook group as well. I'm going to be highly promoting the Facebook group for people to join the Observer Facebook group, because they have the opportunity to engage with you live, and I know you're going to be doing in-depth training in the Facebook group to actually teach each lesson in the book with that private Facebook group. So we're going to be sharing that through our community as well. We're so grateful that you're doing this with us, and we're so grateful you're sharing your story and your knowledge and your wisdom with us. And today on this Zoom call, we actually have 4 of our top producers at GPS. These are the top 4 influencers around the world, and we are so honored to have them be part of our organization. And they love you, they're a big fan of you, and they actually have a couple questions they have prepared to be able to ask you directly and get your perspective and get your position of your insight and your wisdom with what they may be dealing with, or maybe some of the things that their team's dealing with right now as well. So we're going to go to United States right now and actually hear from our very first influencer in United States, Mr. Michael On, who has been an incredible leader, is building an incredible organization in United States. We've been friends for almost 15 years, and he's a true champion. He's doing some incredible things, and I know he's got a very important question to ask you. So Mr. Michael On, welcome to the call.
Thank you so much for having me. And it's such an honor, Mr. Todd Stoudemire. I admire you. I respect you. I've been a fan of yours for a long time, and just so excited to have you on this Zoom call with us today. The question I wanted to ask, representing United States and a lot of leaders, is how do you stay focused and consistent and motivated with so much distraction going on in the world today, whether it's, social media or the news, coronavirus, or just all the things going on? How do you really, really stay focused, consistent, and motivated?
Yeah. So, the whole motivation is like to really get, to get deep into your soul. And it's like, what are your desires? And sometimes people say, and I ask people all the time, it's like, well, what do you want to do? And then sometimes they'll say, well, I don't know. Well, who do you want to become? And what do you want to grow? It's like, man, I'm not really sure. Like, it would be great this or that. And then I turn it. And then I say, well, do you like cleaning the house? They're like, no. I said, well, at least you know something, and at the end of the day, it's like, sometimes it's to find the things you don't like. So sometimes I'll turn it around the other way. And here's what I would tell you is like, is to really get to know yourself. Get really say, and what do I really want to accomplish? Who do I really want to become? Let me remind everybody for a second. A lot of times our belief level will trap us into a place that we don't believe. And because we don't believe, we lose motivation. We lose the desire to get out there and go for it, because maybe we don't believe that we can be an influencer like yourself. Maybe we don't believe that we can be a great leader like all the great leaders that are on this call, because we think that all of you guys have special talent. Let me tell you what your special talent was. You were willing to get up and go to work every single day, and you were willing to put the reps in. You see, but sometimes it's not the lack of motivation. It's not the lack of desire. It's the lack of belief sometimes that keeps us from being motivated. See, because we don't believe, we're afraid to be motivated. We're afraid to take the chance. We're afraid to take the step. Here's what I want. Most people live at, in a capacity standpoint, they live about 40% of what they're really capable of. Look, I'm gonna tell you something. I want you to fall in love with pushing your capacity. I want you to fall in love with cutting the head off. I used to say, tear down the ceilings. Look, there's nothing wrong, which is why I mentioned failure before. Look, go for it every single day. See how fast and how often you can fail. The beauty of this group of people, this group of entrepreneurs, this company, is there are people that love each and every one of you, that want to help you become the best version of you, not only in business, but in life. But this belief, a lot of times people's belief system is nothing more than a lie. It's nothing more than a lie. See, I'll tell you, I remember Major League Baseball, and I reflect on baseball a lot, and because it was my life growing up, and then I got a chance to live that life. And let me tell you something about professional athletes. They're not special. They don't have special DNA. They don't have special genetics. Mr. Michael On doesn't have special DNA, special genetics. Mr. Danny Bay doesn't have special DNA, special genetics. You see, they said to themselves, man, I want to go out and I want to live, and I have vision for what I want to do. I have a desire to become the best version I can of myself. I have a desire to build $1 million company, to build $1 billion company. And it's like they weren't born with the DNA and genetics to do that. They had to pursue their uncomfortable zone to go do that. They had to be willing to fail. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, I need you to be willing to fail. Mr. Michael On, Mr. Danny Bay, all these great leaders, they're going to be there to pick you up. Don't worry. You see, our belief system so many times starts to control our motivation. And because we lack belief, we lack motivation. You see, because we lack belief, we'll lack the desire to get out there. But I'm going to tell you, here's what's fun. And I was going to say about Major League Baseball, even in my last day, on my 15th year, even on my last day, and I knew it was my last day in Major League Baseball. My arm was torn up. I just knew I couldn't compete at that level anymore. But even on my last day, I was looking for an edge. I was trying to find a way to help our team win that day. See, pursuing your greatness isn't a light switch. It's not a one-time event. It's something we do every day. It's like leadership. Leadership is not something we do once in a while. Matter of fact, there are no days off to leadership. There is no such thing for leaders. And for leadership, there's no such thing as a day off. You don't get any mulligans. You're either a leader or you're not a leader. You're either performing like a leader or you're not performing like a leader. And it comes down to the belief that drives is going to motivation, this desire. It's like, I would question everyone. It's like, why not you? You're going to hear from these top leaders around the world. Why not you? Why aren't you one of the people that are the top leaders around the world? It has nothing to do with where you were born, where you came from, has everything to do. Are you willing to believe that it is possible for you? Let me put it to you this way. They say that 1 in 400 million, that's our chance of being born. 1 in 400 million, you've already done the impossible. You did the impossible the first day you were alive. And all you've done since then, if you lack belief and lack motivation and you lack the desire to get out there and push for your potential, that's a ceiling you built. And you have to take responsibility for that ceiling you built. Because when you're 1 in 400 million, you already beat impossible. You already beat it. 399.999 million prior to you being born were not. Do you see? And here's what I would tell you. God does not create mistakes or junk. He created you. And here's what I want you to know. There's a seed of greatness in you. Now, your seed of greatness is different than the Michael On seed of greatness. It's up to you to explore and find that seed of greatness and then to pursue it. And then to pursue it not once in a while, every single day. Push yourself to find a way to get better. Here's a question, Mr. On, I ask myself literally every day. Here's the question. And this helps me stay motivated. It helps me stay on track. And it helps me stay in my business plans. Here's the question I ask myself every single night. I ask myself this question. Is this the best I can do? I want you to know there isn't one time in my life in 55 years that I said yes. Here's what happened. Every time I asked the question, I got something to work on tomorrow. I'm going to tell you something tonight. I'm going to say to myself after this call, I'm going to say, Todd, is that the best you can do? And I'm going to say, well, you know what? I should have made this point. I should have made that point. Next time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write that down in my journal that the next time I'm teaching a company or thing, don't forget this point because it's so important. The question I ask myself daily, ladies and gentlemen, is this the best I can do? See, if we'll ask ourselves great questions, we'll give ourselves great answers. And if we're willing to take those great answers and to go get in action, you'll consistently be pursuing your potential on a daily basis. That doesn't mean you won't fail. Because you will fail, be grateful for the failing. Because every time you fail, there's an opportunity to get better. Let me say it again. Every time you fail, there's an opportunity to get better. I lost over 100 games in Major League Baseball. 100. I got paid tens of millions of dollars and I lost over 100 games, over 100 times when it was my time to perform, fail. And every single one of those times that I failed presented an opportunity for me to get better, which allowed me to also win over 100 games and land on 3 world championship teams. See, I couldn't have landed on the championship teams without the failure. Man, it's like, ladies and gentlemen, if there's anything I can tell you and anything I can get across to you tonight is stop worrying about what people are going to say when you have a misstep. Stop worrying about what people are going to say to you when you go out and it doesn't work out for you right away. Play the long-term game and continue to get better every single day. And to me, that starts with the belief that it's even possible for you. And let me remind you one more time, and thank you for this question, Mr. On. You've already done damn near the impossible. You're 1 in 400 million. We need to go do something with our lives. We need to go honor that.
Wow. Wow. Incredible. Thank you very much, Mr. Todd. Wow. Well, we're going to go straight into our second question, and we're going to go out to Japan right now to hear the question from Mr. Kenji and Tama Hoffman. They were our very first influencer to participate in our GPS opportunity in Japan, and they've been an amazing friend for almost 15 years as well, and we're so honored to have them here right now. They are building an incredible organization in Japan, and I know Mr. Kenji have been a big fan of personal development for many years. I think almost over 30 years. And I know, he loves personal development. He loves your materials. He's so excited to ask the question for you right now. So Mr. Kenji Hoffman, Tama Hoffman, welcome to the call.
今日、僕たちを呼んでいただき、非常に感謝申し上げます。そして、スタートマネーさん、本当に今日ね、こうやってお話ができること、心から、本当に感謝します。ありがとうございます。皆さん必ず、いい時悪い時、あるかと思いますけれど、タッドさんの一番のスランプは、何だったでしょうか。そしてそれは どのようにして、乗り越えたか、非常に、興味があります。お願いします。
Oh, this is beautiful. I want to first say hello to both you and your beautiful wife. You guys are beautiful people, man. I've followed you guys for a long time, and it's so inspiring, and you know everything you guys have done in your career, and just keep going and keep inspiring the world. You guys are champions. I'm grateful to be able to spend some time with you here. I'll go back to 1992 and I'm, you know, listen, I apologize for always reflecting back to my baseball career, because I promise you that over the last couple of years I had failures, and last week I had some failures. Yesterday I had some failures. I've already failed sometime today, and I just love that piece of it. But in 1992, and you know, when you're a pitcher in Major League Baseball, and you pitch, and you're a starting pitcher, and you pitch once every 5 days, you're getting paid to create results. You're getting paid to perform. And I want everyone on the call, because look, you know, effort is great. Hey, I tried hard. That's great. But listen, if you're going to be a champion, the champion creates results. That's what champions do. They create results. Now, I was in a place and at a time in my career where I had about 3 or 4 starts where I wasn't creating any results. Matter of fact, the results I were creating were horrible results. And I was a pitcher for the Toronto Blue Jays. And at that time, my father was a pitching coach for the New York Mets. And my father was my most trusted advisor. I mean, he was been my hero, and he was a mentor, coach. He was a best friend. He was a dad. He was a brother. I mean, he meant so much to me. But I was really, really struggling. And I called my father and I said, Dad, I'm struggling. And he said, I can see that. And he kind of chuckled. I'm like, Dad, it ain't funny. Like, man, it's like I can't get anybody out. And here's what I said to him. I said, Dad, it feels like when I make good pitches, they're still getting hits. And when I'm making bad pitches, they're hitting home runs and doubles and triples. And I mean, I'm scuffling and I can't even get through the 5th inning. And I'm giving up sometimes 8, 9, and 10 runs a game. And as a starting pitcher, for the baseball people on the call, that's not good. And my father said to me, he said on this day, he said, listen, Todd, I'm going to give you 3 things. He says, if you'll do these 3 things, he said, you'll dominate. And I was like, dominate? I said, Dad, I don't even need to dominate. I just need to do good. He says, listen to me, son, you'll dominate. I said, great. And I said, what is it? He goes, number 1, he goes, when you go do your work in between starts, I want you to focus on these 3 things. Stay back in your delivery, finish strong, and think down. Now, I'm a Major League Baseball pitcher. Stay back in my delivery, finish my delivery strong, and think down. That's easy. That's easy. I've done that my whole life. So he didn't give me something new. What he said was, let's go back to the drawing board and let's do what we can do. He gave me something I can do. He says, and if you'll do these 3 things, you'll dominate. And then he said, Todd, there's one other thing. And I was like, I knew it couldn't have been that easy. And I said, what's the one other thing? He said, on the bill of your game cap, I want you to write in big, bold letters, KISS. And I'm like, KISS? And he says, yeah, do you know what that stands for? I was like, huh? He goes, keep it simple, stupid. And I'm like, okay, Dad. And I was like, and he kind of laughed and he goes, I'm serious. On the bill of your game cap. I said, okay, Dad. Now here's what else he said. He said, now listen to me. If your next start, if things aren't going good, then I need you to step off the mound, take off your cap and look. And he says, I need you to read what it says on the bill of your cap. He says, now, what is it going to say? I said, it's going to say KISS, KISS. And he goes, and what's that stand for? And I said, keep it simple, stupid. He goes, no, it stands for stay back, finish strong, think down, keep the game simple. I went out my next start in Comiskey Park against the Chicago White Sox. I didn't give up a hit until the 8th inning. I only gave up 1 hit that night. I almost threw a no-hitter. It's the best game of my major league life, and we won 9-0. What's the moral of the story? The moral of the story is when we're in a slump, when things aren't going good. Let's go back to the fundamentals. What can we do? What can we control? What's the simplicity of our business? And here's the challenge I'll make for everyone on the call. What are 3 to 5 things that you need to do every single day until you master those 3 to 5 things? When you master those 3 to 5 things, the next thing for us to do is to go teach others how to master the 3 to 5 things. Listen, in every business I've ever been involved with, from sports to business, it always boils down to 3 to 5 things you have to do and have to master every single day. And once you master them, you become the teacher of that mastery to others. And this is the way we multiply millions and millions of people. John Maxwell once said, he said, I focused on teaching 5 people. He said, and then what I did is I then asked them, once they got the teaching, once they got the understanding, once they applied the trainings, once they went out and he goes, go teach 5 others. That's 25. Those 25, once they get it, they each go train 25 or each go train their 5. Listen, it's not up to us as leaders to train thousands. Is to train a handful on how to master the 3 to 5 things, hand them the baton, and help them go train 5 others the 3 to 5 things. If we can keep what's simple, you won't believe how we can perform and become best in the world at what we do. Sir, ma'am, I love you guys. It's been a pleasure.
Wow, incredible. Thank you very much. I think I'm going to start wearing a hat every day and I'm going to write down my KISS. I think I need it. I appreciate it big time. Next, we're going to fly out to Hawaii and island of Maui, who is our currently #1 producer in America right now. I mean, his leadership is incredible. He has been a dear friend for over a decade, and we're so honored to have him. Mr. Stuart Stan, welcome to the call.
Wow. Thank you, Mr. Danny Bay. It is an honor to be on this call. Aloha, Mr. Todd Stoudemire. You've been an inspiration, not just to myself, but for thousands and thousands of people here in the state of Hawaii. And it is a privilege to be on this call and being able to ask you a question. My question would be, what's one change that every influencer should make right now so to help them have success or see success in GPS?
Well, first of all, I love the word change, right? And I actually just shot a video on change. And you know, you guys have all heard this. It's nothing new, but you know, you can't change overnight, but you can change your direction overnight anytime you want to. And I would tell you that just the whole thought process of change takes desire, change takes getting uncomfortable, you know, and you have to be willing to do those things. I would say to you, think more about the people. It's like, who can we serve? Not who can I sell, who can I serve? And it's like, if we can get our organizations thinking more about people and less about us and less about what it's going to mean to us. How can I help someone and what will it mean to them? Whether it's a new partner, whether it's a customer, it's like, if we can just, you know, if we can get to a place where we're a place of service, you know, and serving other people. You know, as we've gone through this pandemic, one of our companies that we have is we got a small pokey. Matter of fact, we got a pokey. I'm laughing because you're in Hawaii where pokey comes from. But we have a pokey concept. We have 5 restaurants. We're going to be franchising those restaurants out around the nation called Koibito Poke. And when the pandemic hit, And when the pandemic hit and they said they had stay-at-home orders and they said restaurants, you couldn't go inside restaurants, you could do takeout and you could do delivery. I got our entire management team together and all the managers from each one of the stores. They kind of came to the meeting, and I noticed everyone kind of had their head down and they were very disappointed. They were afraid. They were afraid, you see, that my message was going to be, we're going to shut down and people are going to lose jobs. And as I watched them come in one by one and they sat around the boardroom, I got up in the front and I said, all right, guys, look up here. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, I said, listen to me. I said, here's what we're not going to do. We're not going to shut down. We're not going to do that. So I need everyone to pick up their head. See, here's what we are going to do. We're going to find a way. And I said, and I don't know every way, but we're going to find a way as a company. We're going to find a way to get better every single day. We're going to challenge status quo. And I said, we're in uncertain times. We're going to have to deal with things that we've never had to deal with, which means we're going to be learning as we're going. But here's what else we're going to do. We're going to serve our way out of this. See, here's what I said to them. When a customer walks through your doors, I want doves flying and I want people playing the trumpets. Now, I said, not really, but that's the vision. That's the understanding. That's the mindset that every customer that walks through that door, or every customer that does a pickup or a takeout or a delivery, create a masterpiece. Create a masterpiece. See, because we need to be grateful for the opportunity to get to serve people. So we took it another step, even a little step further. I said, we're going to serve. And I said, we're going to build our company through this pandemic on service. So what we did is I launched a thing called Koibito Cares. It went from an idea and we put it in action within 24 hours. So ladies and gentlemen, here's what I want you to know is you might be thinking, man, I've got an idea. Don't wait till next week. Go put it in action now. See, I had the idea. I was like, wow, these people in hospitals that are working around the clock, the firemen working around the clock, the police officers working around the clock, all the paramedics working around the clock. These people are exhausted. They're tired. And here's what I said to our company. We're going to go serve them food. We're going to go drop off lunches at the hospitals. We're going to take lunches to the firemen at the fire departments. And we're going to serve them meals for free. Now watch this though. But you see, it's not going to cost you guys 1 penny at the store level. And what I said is, I'll go raise the money. I'll go talk to the people in the community. And I'm going to say our restaurants decided to take meals to the people who are tired and working around the clock during this pandemic. So I went and raised the money. Then we took the money. We bought the food through the restaurants. And then the people together at the restaurants made the food. And then we served the food to the people for free. We did 3 things. The end customer was a fireman, was a paramedic, was a police officer, was a nurse, was a doctor, and they were all exhausted working through the pandemic. And we served them meals for free to say, here's what we said. We appreciate what you're doing for us. Even though you don't know me, I appreciate what you're doing for me and my family and my community. You see, we served them free. Now take it to the restaurant level. The restaurant level, it was a way to survive because I took money we raised to feed the community. I took money we raised and we drove that money for our food costs and our labor costs so I could keep people employed. Now I want you to know something here. And then I went to the people we raised the money for and we're going to give you a tax deduction because it's a 501c3. I had the idea on a couch in my home in 24 hours. In 24 hours, because they shut the school system down, we fed a school 100 meals. Let me tell you the school we fed. If the kids didn't go to school that day, they didn't get to eat lunch because their families didn't have enough money to provide lunch for them. And in 24 hours, we identified that school. We identified those kids that were going to go hungry that day. In 24 hours, we identified this program, and I went from my couch to 24 hours later, we were serving 100 meals. We launched Coibito Cares. Let me talk about change and what you're talking about here. We got to shift our focus. We got to shift the focus from us, my lifestyle, my paycheck, my desires, my dreams, and we got to go help people, their desires, their dreams, their paychecks, their families. And as a leader, if I can get myself to go think enough about the people who are willing and have the desire, then we begin to change lives and we begin to develop leaders one at a time that can multiply into millions and millions of people. Sir, I'm so grateful to have you on. It's great to see you again, and I can't wait to see you in Maui because I'm coming, boss. Yes, sir.
Wow. One change, one idea, 24 hours execution has made changes to really hundreds of people's lives, maybe thousands, in a short amount of time, and save the business. And it didn't just save the business. And, you know, I know that your Poke business is doing incredible right now and helping the community. And it's awesome. And I know that every single one of us in our own marketplaces with our own projects, I know that our leaders are capable of thinking of an idea to implement in next 24 hours. So we really appreciate that.
Yeah, I want to add on that just for a second, Danny. So many times we get an idea, and then here's what we think about. Well, how are we going to do this? And how's that going to work? And how's that going to work? A week later, you know what we do with the idea? And then we're like, no, maybe that won't work, or this and that. Look, when I was on that couch, I had no idea whether it would work. But I'm telling you, here's what I wasn't going to do. I wasn't just going to sit back and die. I was going to get out. I was going to take massive action. I took an idea and said, we're just going to go for it. Do you know that today we have fed thousands and thousands and thousands of people through this program? And this program I started from I started it from my couch. We're now taking the program that every time we open up a store in a city or a state, we're going to open up with Coibito Cares to also serve that community. It's going to become a national program where we're feeding people who are not only hungry, but we're going to be feeding pandemics. We're going to be feeding the people that are going on all kinds of stress that might not have time, like first responders and this and that. And it all happened with a simple idea. But the idea, what we did was was it perfect the first day? Heavens no. Have we learned something every day that we've been in operations with Coibito Cares? Yes. Do I laugh at our first day of doing Coibito Cares? Of course. But you see, I get to laugh about it because we continue to make it better. It continues to get better. Why? Because we took action. You got an idea, take action. Forget about how it's going to work out, what it's going to look like. Forget about trying to build this whole plan. How about just take a step and see what happens? Progress is your way to happiness. Progress. Back to you, Mr. Bay.
Incredible. Awesome. Thank you very much, Mr. Todd. Well, we're going to go all the way to Korea right now and hear from our master influencer from Korea, our #1 influencer in GPS globally. And we appreciate him very much. You know, I know you guys have a history together. You guys were actually throwing pitch and Mr. Wu was catching your ball in Korea, Seoul, Korea, by the Korean River at the park. I just feel like it was just a few months ago, but I guess it's already been a few years. So let's go out to Korea and hear from Mr. Wu for his question. Mr. Wu, welcome to the call.
네, 너무 반갑습니다. 한국에서 같이 있었던 시간도 생각나고요. 정말 박찬호보다도 더 유명한 타드를 VR로에서 자주 또 우리가 함께해서 너무나 흥분됩니다. 물론 발차기는 박찬호가 더 잘할 걸로 알고 있습니다. 아무튼, Todd, do you have any plan to come to Korea again?
Yes,
So-
sir. So, I was saying earlier that it was because of you, Mr. Wu, and because of Mr. Bay that brought not only myself, but you allowed me to bring my wife along for a very, very special trip. And we've talked a lot about it. We got so many different photos. We've got albums of that trip, and we've showed our family all about that trip. And Mr. Wu, they know all about you. Of course, Mr. Bay, they know all about you. But that trip for us was one of the greatest experiences and of our lives, and to be in the country and to see the country culture and the Korean barbecue. Oh man, do we love the Korean barbecue, and I love the food and the people, and just the way we were treated by both of you men, and it was just an unbelievable time. I got to tell you, it was so fun. It was so fun for me. I believe it was it was going to be our last dinner together with Mr. Wu, some of his leaders, and Mr. Bay, and we were out in front of a restaurant, and Mr. Wu brought his catcher's glove, he brought some baseballs, and it was so funny. We brought a couple gloves, and the next thing you know, there we are in Korea, and we're out in front of the restaurant, and we start out just playing catch, and then Mr. Wu gets down in the catcher's position, and I throw him a couple pitches, and I looked over at Mr. Bay, and Mr. Bay was like, "Come on, man, cut loose on him and give it to him." And I was like, "Oh man, I don't know." And we just had so much fun. And as I threw him some curveballs, and I started to get loose, and we threw him some. And I got to tell you that it just brought joy to me because here we are, both me and Mr. Wu. Obviously we're not kids anymore, but we found a way to have fun like kids, and it makes me think about something. It reminds me of something. I have 5 beautiful children. And they range, I have a 25-year-old daughter going off to medical school. I've got a 19-year-old daughter as a sophomore in college. I got a 17-year-old daughter that's a senior in high school. I got a 15-year-old son that's a freshman in high school. And then I have a 5-year-old daughter. And I just love where I'm at today because her first 5 years of her life to this day, I have studied, I've watched, I've reflected, I've taken notes. And she has reminded me to continue to be curious, to have fun, to dream. There was one time I went into her bedroom and about 6 months ago, and she said, "Dad, can you fix my TV?" And I grabbed the remote, and I was like, I looked at her and I said, "Brooklyn," I said, I don't know how to do it. And here's what she said to me: "Keep trying, Dad. Keep trying." And I was like, yeah. You're right. Keep trying, Dad. See, she doesn't know what impossible is. She believes everything's possible. And that day when me and Mr. Wu were out in front of a restaurant, we're in Korea, we're in our suits and everything else. But it's like, I would tell you the group and Mr. Wu, you're just so awesome and you're just an incredible leader. But it's like to remind everyone, don't forget that life is fun. Don't forget to have fun and have experience. And because of the experience that I had in Korea, it was a great reminder. Mr. Wu is a great mentor. Mr. Wu, I just want you to know that you're not only a great mentor to the people of Korea, you mentored, I know you were a big part of Japan, and you also are mentoring people and have mentored people, and you've pushed people in the United States, people that have never met you, that have looked up to you. And I would just say, continue doing what you're doing because you are a champion, my friend. And I would love, here's what I would tell you. Somehow, some way, we'll figure out a way so that me and you can get back together in Korea. So, and by the way, we're going to see what I have here is a bat. So the next time I come to Korea, what we're going to see, Mr. Wu, is instead of you catching me, we're going to see if you can hit me. Deal?
That's incredible. That's awesome. We're looking forward to it, Mr. Todd. It's
Yes,
going to be
sir.
fun.
Yes.
I know that best is truly yet to come. And, just hearing all your message and your answers, your beautiful answers, impactful, powerful, life-changing answers from all the questions from, our leadership team, really putting it all together. If it wasn't for pandemic, if it wasn't for those situations, if it wasn't for the slump, if it wasn't for the bad games, you wouldn't have had the greatest games. If it wasn't for the pandemic, those thousands of meals prepared by you beautiful Poke company wouldn't have been fed. If it wasn't for the pandemic, if it wasn't for that challenge, if it didn't require that change, if it wasn't for other people having fear, but you having an idea, it wouldn't have turned into a brand that would have now is going to be a nationwide brand to serve thousands of people in the country, the community, and helping the first responders. It's absolutely beautiful. And I got to agree with you. If people could just understand that, if we could just learn to observe instead of panicking, instead of being worried, instead of having a fear, if they could just learn to observe and come up with an idea and every day ask them the question like you do every day. I know I'm going to start doing it every day. What can I do better? What can I change from what I've done today to make sure that what could I have done better and make sure that I apply it right away tomorrow? And I know that if we could learn to observe and ask the question and go out there and take action with it every day, every single one of us could truly live better, from your teaching. So I can't wait for everybody to get to experience your book, Observer, that's coming. We're going to be sharing your website, if it's okay with you. We're going to be sharing the link through our company website and our social media. Even on this video, we're going to be putting a link there as well, because I know in the United States, they could purchase through Amazon and, different sources, but they could do it directly from your website, and you will give them the sources where they could order from. But also, I know that there's going to be ebook, even for people that are maybe outside of the United States, they could also get an ebook for them to be able to read. It's in English, but they could probably, a lot of them may understand English, or maybe they could get some translation done. But I really want your Observer message to be in every single GPS influencer's hands. So if it's okay with you, your permission, I want to continue to talk about your book and make sure that people engage with you, even on Facebook, to continue learning from you.
Well, I'm humbled, sir, and honored. And one of the things I want people to know is that inside this book too is there's more than 50 different principles and models to help you have more success, to help you pursue the best version of yourself. And I also want you to know that those models and those principles were learned through experience, through tough times, because I had great people around me. You see, I had great coaches, I had great mentors, I had great accountability partners, I had working partners. I had great people around me that cared about my success. And Mr. Bay, when I look at you and I look at these leaders from around the world, from Korea to Hawaii to Japan to California and Texas and all the different places that GPS has expanded to in a very short period of time, to think about less than 1 year, taking over 3 different countries and a huge vision before, it's because of greatness. And you see, because I was around champions, just like all the people on this call, I want you to know you're around champions. You're around people that know the way. They know the way. All you got to do is latch on. You see, all I did was latch on to the messaging and to the lessons of my father. You see, all I did was take a lesson from a Hall of Famer like Tony La Russa, manager, Cito Gaston, Dennis Eckersley, Ricky Henderson, Dave Winfield, Paul Molitor, Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee. All I did was Lou Brock, Bob Gibson. I can go on and on. All I did was get something from them. They gave me a message. I then took the message and went and applied the message to see how it would work for me. See, the same shoe, it doesn't fit everyone exactly the same. But you see, when you take a message and you apply a message, then you get to make it your own and you get to continue to work up the mountain with the message. That's what the Observer is. It's an opportunity that I get to pass through me on lessons, models, principles. There's so many in there. You can take one of them and create life change. I want you to know that every principle and model in the book changed my life, which means what? Which means my life has changed over 50 different times. Wow. You know, I can't wait for tomorrow, because tomorrow I'll apply a lesson, I'll read a book, I'll listen to a podcast, I'll write it in my journal, and then I'll take it to the street and I'll go try it. I'll go give it a shot. I'll see how it works. And then you know what I'll probably do? I'll probably fail with the message. But here's what I know, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier. If someone else can do it, you can do it. If someone else can take a message and do something with the message, you can take a message and go do something with the message. If somebody can build a company, you can build a company. If someone can lead a country, you can lead a country. If someone can make $1 million, you can make $1 million. If someone can make $1 billion, you can make $1 billion. You see, you just got to believe, you got to apply, you got to learn, you got to study, but you got to take action, ladies and gentlemen. You have to take action. Nothing works until you do the work. Mr. Bay, to all the leaders and all the great people on this and our people around the world, I'm just so grateful. I just want you to know I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful because I don't know it all. I'm so grateful because I know I'm unfinished. I'm ungrateful because I know I haven't mastered every principle and lesson in my book, The Observer. But I am grateful because I had people pour into me, that I could document the lessons, that I could work on the lessons. I'm unfinished. We're all unfinished. We can go higher to higher levels. We can climb bigger mountains. We can do this together. And I want you to know at GPS, you have greatness. You have people with vision. You have people that know the way. You have champions, just like I grew up with champions. And if you're growing up in this company, you're growing up in this company, ladies and gentlemen, with champions that are going to help you become everything that you desire to become. Mr. Bay, I'm tip my hat, man, because I love you like a brother. You're the brother from another mother. You've been a mentor. You've been a great friend. All of you people have been great friends, great mentors to me. See, you can learn from, anyone can learn from anyone else. You see, when you think you're the stuff and the leader and you can't learn from someone else, then your leadership level is broken. When the leader stops learning, the leader becomes cracks in that honor and in that armor. So it's kind of like, I love that we can all communicate. And today I got to do a lot of the talking. I got to do a lot of the teaching and a lot of the instructing. But this could have gone a million different ways. Any one of these leaders could have done all the talking, and I would have sat here with my journal taking notes. See, I want you to know something. You can take notes from anyone. You can learn lessons from anyone if you're willing to learn, to study, to document, to observe, to take action, to reflect. So powerful. Mr. Bay, thank you so much, man. I'm honored.
Well, thank you very much, Mr. Todd Stoudemire, once again for being part of our very last event very last global event of year 2020, which is a year that will be in our history book for many reasons, especially for us because we started this year. This was the finishing of the integration year for our company, and we couldn't have had a better guest speaker than for you to join us. And I know myself and all the influencers are going to be studying you more through your book, but also we really look forward to having you on our virtual reality setting teaching with VRLU. We are so looking forward to the Mr. Todd Stottlemyre VRLU teaching in 2021. So thank you once again for joining us. Thank you for all the leaders from around the world. And thank you everybody who connected us on the call. God bless.
God bless. Thank you.
Wow, wow, wow. There's nothing else to be said after our interview with Mr. Todd Stottlemyre. Thank you very much, Mr. Todd Stottlemyre. We look forward to your book, this in next literally few days. I know it's going to be delivered. Every single one of you that are watching this right now, I want to encourage you to go pre-order Mr. Todd Stottlemyre's newest book, The Observer. I could tell you right now, this book will absolutely change your life. And if you're watching this from different country and you cannot get a physical copy because you're not in the United States, you can also get a digital copy ebook by his pre-order website as well. So thank you once again, Mr. Todd Stottlemyre, and I'm really looking forward to having you on VRLU in 2021. I know your production is going to be amazing, and to be in a virtual reality setting, to be trained by you, to be mentored by you, and be taught by you is going to be absolutely amazing. So thank you very much one more time, Mr. Todd Stottlemyre. Well, folks, that's it for today. We're honored to have you join us in 2020, our inauguration year for GPS Opportunity. We started our opportunity with a lot of vision, a lot of hope, and a lot of plans. And even though that with world pandemic and so many unexpected things happening this year, so many, we had to be flexible. But from the very beginning, we knew that you have to be firm and flexible at the same time. And I could tell you right now, our belief is bigger than we have ever had. Our confidence about our future is greater than we have ever had. I could tell you right now that our product portfolio right now is stronger than anything we could have imagined when we first opened up our door a few months ago. The leadership that's being developed right now in the United States, in Japan, and Korea right now is stronger than anything we could have imagined when we started this company a few months ago. I know we've done a lot in a few months, but let me tell you something. We haven't even started yet. We are just getting warmed up. And I'm telling you, 2021 is going to be our year. 2021, we're going to set even more records. We're going to break even more records. We're going to help even more people to go out there and be financially independent. Next 5 years, next 10 years, we're going to change the world. We're going to bring new opportunity, new excitement, new hope, and new way to really upgrade their reality in a way they have never experienced before. And it's starting right now. And we want to do it with you. Ladies and gentlemen, you have a few days left to close year 2020 strong. You have a few days left to prepare yourself to win in 2021. You have a few days left to really go out there and take charge of your life to make sure that you win no matter what in year 2021. We want you to innovate forward with us in year 2021. We want you to finish year 2020 strong so you could start 2021 in a powerful way. We want to see every single one of you level up and succeed in 2021. Who's going to become influencer 10K in year 2021? Who's going to become influencer 100K in 2021? Who's going to become the very first influencer 200K in year 2021? I truly believe it's whoever plans on it. It really doesn't matter where you are today. It doesn't matter where you've been. It only matters what decisions you make right now, what thinking you apply right now, what plans you apply right now, what plans you set in place right now. And I'm telling you, every single one of you could win. Just like Mr. Todd Stoudemire said, I don't believe that God makes mistakes. I don't believe that God makes junks. I believe that every single one of you were born with greatness and you could do amazing things for your life, for your family, and your loved ones. So let's make it happen. God bless you. Have a great rest of your 2020. Enjoy your holidays. Enjoy your season to celebrate the finish of 2020 and get ready to win in a major way in 2021. We'll see you again in 2021. And 2021 is your year. Don't let anybody steal your 2021. God bless you. We'll see you in 2021. Innovate forward, everyone. Bye-bye.